All right, what's up, everyone? Today is Thursday, September 28th, 2017, and let's talk about the overall market today. QQQs is something that I was looking at. As you guys know, most of you got, I've been out for the past 2 weeks, 2 weeks and a half almost after the hurricane, work, traveling, and then more work. So I haven't really had a chance to even trade. Or if I was trading from random places with small positions, but never from home. I finally got a chance to trade from home today, and I was a little bit more aggressive, and that was my anticipation, being more aggressive today than usual. But let's talk about the QQQs. I guess what I missed out the past couple of days is that it made a new high, and it just kind of retraced back. Then it bounced off the support here. So that's when you see a lot of these tech companies bouncing. So my anticipation was that it's holding this trend, this uptrend, and I think it was gapping up. No, it was not gapping up. It actually retraced. So it came and hit this resistance here, this point here. That was yesterday, right before the market closed. And as you can see here, there's support. Sorry, resistance, 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 and it came and hit it there again. So what I was looking at is that it's holding this uptrend on the 30-minute chart time frame, which is something I love to use. QQQs did it here again. It did it back in the beginning of the month. So it dropped, support, drop, trend line, drop, trend line, and I think I drew this blue circle line because I think that's where I did bought a lot of the tech companies. So then after that, just dropped. So it was kind of making a similar pattern today, and but today it's starting to look a lot more weaker than usual. So dropped, drop, trend line, drop, trend line. Did it again. So I was anticipating for this to come and kiss this support and trend line. And so that's why I had my eyes on Nvda, because Nvda follows the QQQs very close. So as you can see, it's pretty much the same pattern as the QQQs. So we're talking about Nvidia here, drop, trend line, trend line, trend line, trend line. So I drew my plan was for this to retrace and test the support here at the trend line, and that's what it did. So Nvidia, I played it twice, I think. Um, see what happens to my circles. Okay, this is this one. So Nvidia, I played it. I went in here because again, like I mentioned, there's a support, the trend line. So I went in around 174.40. Then I sold here once it started showing weakness against the dropping dimes. I sold there. Then I think I had it again, and then it came against me, and I just got out because for a reason I don't there's not really a reason for me to buy here when it was already cracking VWAP. But then once it held this trend line again and it was making the higher lows, I ended up taking this long here again, and so this is a pretty nice pattern because it's a reversal pattern on the 5 minute. It's very clear to see, and what I was seeing here is that once it held here higher lows, I went in here at 174.70, I think was my entry, and then once it got over this mark, and I even tweeted it's like at 175.25, it was gonna get it past this point, it would have taken off. It did take off for a bit, and I was already starting to trail, but I didn't really get a chance to execute my order. And at this time, my damn internet froze, and so the broker that I used, I ended up having to log out and log back in. So I ended up giving back almost a full point, half a point back, and I ended up just getting out here. Once it kind of showed weakness that it couldn't get past back to the open. And Nvidia, the way I like to trade is again, I have the QQQs open. I have a lot of these ETFs open, and when the QQQs were ramping up, that's when I was more comfortable adding to Nvidia. But then again, he hit some resistance here, so let's see what happens. It's still holding the trend, but showing showing weakness now. Nvidia, but the volume is coming back in, so that's a good thing. All right, so then the other one, ITCI, was the one that went very heavy. ITCI, I think I had an offering, and what I was looking for this one to come and retrace the 200 moving average, but instead it started bouncing against the 50 moving average here. I was anticipating that this was just going to completely flush down to the 200 moving average, So what I did is I ended up going in here with the filler. Usually I do really small shares just to get an idea of what's going on. Once it cracked the open, I went in very heavy, and I was looking for 1450 at least, and it bounced at 1480. Came against me. I took some of my risk off here around 1524 because I didn't want this one to come and go against me. So I took some of my risk off, and then once it started showing the weakness of the double top, I came in here heavy again, and I ended up covering right past the open for two reasons. Is that one of them, it's the open. The second thing is the $15 mark. So there's a whole dollar mark. When we're talking about 15, 20, $5 marks, those are very strong points because there's a lot of traders who just script to buy stocks around this area. So I ended up getting out here. Then I think I trailed about one third or even less, one third of my position here. Ended up stopping me out right at the open. And good thing I did that because then it popped. Probably would have scared me off and maybe I would have taken a big loss there. So either way, it turned out to be a good trade. EFX was one that I was looking at since yesterday. What I like is that it was making the, I think it was a 50% retracement Fibonacci. Let's see, 50 golden ratio. Okay, so it's the inverse golden ratio here, 38.2. So it was getting rejected there, and it showed a lot of weakness here, especially around that Fibonacci area. Retrace, and then I was looking for this one to pop at least to 107 and short it, but then it just completely dropped at the open. And I didn't really get a chance to go through this, so instead what I did is that once I noticed that I was making this breaking the low of the day, I looking at time and sales, you could just see all the volume coming in. I ended up taking a big position here. It dropped, and then again I got out here because of the time and sales. As you could just see all the volume coming in, and then I just I trailed the rest, and I think it was only a small number of shares, and it just stopped me out back here. Overall, I just wanted to be more aggressive today. Uh, the market's starting to show a lot of weakness, and I was talking to some of the guys, and I mean, this is my opinion. 250 is a good area to call it the top. I mean, I'm not saying it's the top. I mean, if you're looking at whole numbers, 250 is a nice area for the SPY to completely reverse. But looking at the monthly chart, it's still looking strong. It's kind of topping up here. So let's see what happens. The market's been in a full bull market all year, hasn't really pulled back. So we might need a little pullback. But again, we're just gonna play what we have in our session now and what we have now. So right now the SPY is still going higher. So let's see what happens. Anyways, those are my trades for today. Oh, I did take what was it? AN. I was trying to swing this one. Shit, I forgot the name of it. AN. Yeah. I was trying to swing this other play. Um, ASMD. I got stopped. Yeah, I got stopped out, and I was trying to short it on. But unfortunately, it was not available to short, and I guess good thing I didn't short it. It came and popped. So, all right. So I mean, I took a loss here, about $200 on my small account, which is fine. Um, it came and did the 50% retracement off of this, so I'm not surprised it bounced off of here. So 50% retracement there. But I just didn't like the volume. The volume was starting to die down, and that's the reason I just took the loss. But it is what it is. It comes with the territory. So other than that, that's it. I am done.